Long ago, in the powerful Kingdom of Oyo, the people worshipped Sango, the god of thunder. His palace sat high on a mountain, surrounded by storm clouds that never left. The people feared and respected Sango because his anger could bring thunder and lightning, destroying anything in its path. In a small village far from the palace lived a young man named Aremu. He was strong, determined, and always dreamed of becoming as powerful as Sango. While the other villagers worked the fields or took care of their families, Aremu would practice with his spear under the old baobab tree, dreaming of greatness. One day Aremu heard a tale from the village elders about the Mask of Sango. They said this mask, hidden deep in the enchanted forest, gave anyone who wore it the power of the thunder god. The story lit a fire in Aremu's heart. He wanted that power. He wanted to be feared and respected, just like Sango. Aremu visited the village priest, an old man who knew many ancient secrets. In a dark, smoky hut, the priest sat with his back bent and eyes closed. When Aremu told him about his desire to find the mask, the priest slowly opened his eyes and spoke in a low voice. The Mask of Sango is not for ordinary men. If you seek it, you will face many dangers. But if your heart is not pure, the mask will destroy you. Aremu, ignoring the warning, begged the priest to help him. Seeing the fire in his eyes, the priest sighed and handed Aremu a rough map. This will guide you to the enchanted forest, but beware. What you find there is not just power. With the map in hand, Aremu set out early the next morning. The journey was long and tiring. After days of walking through hills and plains, he reached the edge of the enchanted forest. The trees were tall and twisted, their roots glowing faintly in the dim light. Strange creatures watched him from the shadows, their eyes glowing in the darkness. As Aremu ventured deeper, the forest seemed to close in around him. The air became thick, and ghostly whispers filled his ears. At one point, thick vines wrapped around his legs, pulling him to the ground. He fought with all his strength, cutting through the vines with his spear, refusing to give up. Finally, after a long struggle, he saw the mouth of a cave glowing faintly behind a waterfall. Inside the cave it was cold and damp, but at its center stood a stone pedestal. On it lay the Mask of Sango. The mask was beautiful, made of gold and covered in carvings that seemed to pulse with energy. Aremu could feel the power just by standing near it. Without hesitation, he picked up the mask and placed it on his face. In an instant, lightning crackled around him, and his body filled with electric energy. He felt powerful, invincible. For a moment, Aremu believed he had become just like Sango, the thunder god himself. But outside, the sky darkened, and the clouds roared. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning struck the ground in front of him, and from the clouds descended Sango himself, riding on a chariot of wind and lightning. His eyes glowed with fury, and his voice boomed like thunder. "You dare steal my power!" Sango bellowed. "The mask is not for men, it is bound to me." Aremu, full of newfound confidence, raised his hands to summon lightning, just as he had seen Sango do. Lightning shot from his fingers, but Sango deflected it with ease. The sky flashed as they battled, thunder rolling with every strike. Aremu tried again and again to summon more power, but Sango was too strong, too fast. With one final devastating strike, Sango called down a massive bolt of lightning. It shattered the mask on Aremu's face, sending him flying backward. As the pieces of the mask fell to the ground, the energy left Aremu's body. He was weak, tired, and defeated. Sango, towering over him, spoke with a quieter but stern voice. "Power is not something you can take. It is something you must earn. Your ambition has led you down a dangerous path." With those words, Sango rose back into the sky and the storm slowly cleared. The enchanted forest was silent again, but it was no longer the same. Trees were charred, and the ground was blackened from the battle. Aremu, bruised and broken, slowly stood up. He had chased power without understanding its cost. With a heavy heart, he began the long walk back to his village. As he passed through the village gates, the people looked at him with a mixture of pity and relief. He was no longer the proud, ambitious young man who had left in search of greatness. Later, Aremu returned to the priest's hut, where he sat quietly, reflecting on all that had happened. The priest, seeing the change in Aremu, simply nodded. No words were needed. Aremu now understood the truth. Real power comes not from taking, but from knowing when to let go. Was not found in the mask or the battle, but in the wisdom gained through failure and humility. And so, the thunder quieted, and Aremu found peace.